U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced a scheduled visit to several Pacific nations at a time when the Biden administration shifts its indo-Pacific strategy into overdrive. Sheina Selim has the news.
Washington's senior official will visit Tonga, New Zealand, and Australia next week as part of efforts by the United States to counter China's influence in the region. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit the region from July 28 to 29. The diplomatic tour will be full of meetings with officials from the three Pacific nations, including the inauguration of new embassy in Tonga. The State Department told lawmakers it envisions hiring dozens of staffers in the next 5 years and spend at least $10 million for startup, design, and construction costs of new and existing embassies in the region. U.S. President Joe Biden hosted a first-ever summit in Washington with Pacific Island leaders in September of last year. The U.S. also reached an agreement this year with Britain and Australia to supply Canberra with nuclear-powered submarines through the AUKUS deal. The trip will be Blinken's third visit to Asia in a span of 2 months. Reporting from New South Wales, this is Sheina Selim, SMNI News, Australia.
Following its short-lived mutiny in late June, Russia's private military group Wagner began training Belarusian special forces near the border of Poland. Hans Marshall files this report.
Belarusian special forces are holding joint drills with Wagner forces at a firing range near the border city of Brest. According to Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, the private military group would no longer take part in the Russia-Ukraine conflict for now, but they will gather their strength before going to Africa. Prigozhin said that their goal was to make the Belarusian army the second strongest army in the world. The Wagner chief also released a video, his first public appearance since the mutiny. In the video, Prigozhin can be heard saying that he and his men will stay in Belarus for some time, then they will move to Africa. He was also heard criticizing the current situation on the battlefield.
Рады вас всех приветствовать! Приездом на белорусскую землю! Мы достойно воевали! Вы сделали для России очень много! Сейчас то, что происходит на фронте, это позор, в котором нам не нужно участвовать. И дождаться того момента, когда мы сможем проявить себя по полной программе. Поэтому принято решение, что мы будем находиться здесь, в Беларуси, какое-то время. За это время мы сделаем, и я в этом уверен, белорусскую армию второй армией в мире. А если нужно, то вступимся за них, в случае, если это потребуется. Я всех хочу попросить максимально обратить внимание на то, что белорусы встретили нас не только как героев, но как братьев. Но аккуратно, чтобы никого не обидеть из них. Поэтому отнесемся к ним также по-братски. Дальше готовимся. Повышаем свой уровень. И в новый путь, в Африку. И, возможно, вернемся на СВО в тот момент, когда будем уверены, что нас не заставят посрамить самих себя и наш опыт.
Reports say that up to 10,000 fighters will end up in Belarus. It can be remembered that in early July, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko suggested that Wagner forces could be used to defend Belarus, inviting the group to train the Belarusian military. He also said he is not troubled to have a certain number of Wagner fighters stationed in the country. Lukashenko is a longtime friend of Prigozhin and Russian President Vladimir Putin, who brokered a deal to end the mutiny. The prospect of Wagner's moving to Belarus made neighboring countries wary, particularly Ukraine and NATO member Poland. In response to the joint drills, Poland has redeployed its troops. In a statement, Poland's defense minister said that it was ready for various scenarios as the situation develops. Earlier in July, Poland deployed hundreds of soldiers and vehicles to the border with Belarus, saying that it needs to prevent attempts to destabilize the region, with Warsaw's 12 Mechanized Division saying that around 1,000 troops and 200 units of equipment will be stationed in the eastern province of Podlaski, located on the border with Belarus. Belarus made similar allegations against Poland, claiming that Minsk coup plotters are being trained in Poland. Ukraine is also wary after satellite photos emerge, suggesting that Belarus is building an army camp for Wagner fighters located at a former military base outside Osipovichi, a Belarusian town 230 kilometers north of the Ukrainian border. It can be noted that the Wagner forces in Belarus are in line with the deal struck way back on the 24th of June. Back then, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that members of the mercenary could either leave for Belarus, come under the command of the Defense Ministry, or go back to their families. This is Hans Marshall reporting, SMNL News.